Hello, I'm your host Kaylee, and I'd like to welcome Casey Day to the Murder Game. The Murder Game is a hypothetical thought exercise where Casey Day's goal is going to be to off as many people as possible using unlimited resources. But he's not allowed to use bombs or poison, so he's going to have to get creative to outsmart his targets. My task is to be the voice of reason and to sometimes help him out when he's struggling. In the Murder Game, Casey doesn't care about getting caught, but if he does, the game ends. How far will he go to get a high score? Now let's get into the fake crime and find out Casey's solution to the Murder Game. Welcome to the most twisted game of all, the Murder Game. This hypothetical thought exercise has one goal: eliminate as many people as you possibly can. It's all about numbers, no moral compass, just a thirst for chaos. Just 3 simple rules. Rule 1, unlimited resources. Money, technology, influence. You have everything at your fingertips. Rule 2, poison, bombs, off the table. Don't rely on usual methods. This game is for the creative, the cunning, the brilliant. It's your mind against the masses. Rule 3, you don't care about getting caught or eliminated, but once you are, the game ends. Count the bodies, the highest number wins. Are you ruthless enough to play the Murder Game? Well, Casey, I am so excited to have you today. I don't know why, I just have this wonderful feeling that you are going to have a crazy solution to the Murder Game. So I want to hear all about it.
Well, Kaylee, first, thank you for having me. And thank you for also inviting DJ Electra, my co-host. Oh, we are going to battle over this on our show, so we'll help promote. Yes, so I started doing this and thinking about this a long time ago. Luigi Greenberg, the great Luigi Greenberg, he said, hey, I can ask her if you want to be on the show. And I said no at the time because I was just busy with stuff, and I didn't know what the show was, and I'm often scared of things I don't know. And so I run from them. And so eventually...
Especially things you don't know with murder in the title. I feel like that, you know.
Yes. I got the invite from you, and I asked Luigi, hey, send me the video. So I watched it. Then I watched like 10 others, Equal Pineapple.
Yeah.
I watched of others. And then I stopped because I go, okay, I don't want to get any ideas. Right?
Yep.
It's like, okay, there's some good ideas floating around. I don't want to adopt them into my thing. And then I started thinking about it, and it has literally taken over my mind like a virus. And so thank you. And also fuck you. You live rent free in my goddamn head with this stupid game because
it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. But I also realized something.
You can't stop. Once you're like into the murder game, you're like, well, I could do this. Well, I could do that. What if I just started cutting brake lines of people's cars? I don't even know.
But my sort of realization was like, wait a second. This is like, what kind of person are you? So like your answer isn't like an answer about how to kill people. It's like, what kind of person are you? Like, and so once I had my answer, I go, my God, what am I? But I sort of figured it out, and I go, wait a second, I'm an engineer. And so I'm a kind of person that my dad was a car engineer. I'm a music engineer. And so I look at things as like problems to be solved. Right. Yes. And so you gave in your rules like a couple things where I was like, okay, well, that's how I can win the game. That's how I can win. But is there a way to do it without? Nope, that's just a pure form of doing it. And then there's some sort of things that like I go, oh, well, that also would help. So I just have really been ruminating on it. And I'm a man who likes finance and crypto, and I'm a man who likes big and let's focus real quick on the unlimited resource.
Oh,
and
yes, that's the best part.
It is. And when you say, so I'm the first that's going to really test that. And I'm also going to test, because unlimited resource also means time. That means I have like 50 years of time to do this.
You are right.
Because it is the most important resource. And so let's get into it, shall we? So I have a few visual aids that will, I think, help me and help everyone kind of understand where I'm coming from with this. And so my core premise is use systems to kill, right? Now, or prevent newer systems from coming online that prevent death. So essentially, like, let analog work a little longer and just rack up them murders. No one knows this but me. And so I start at a very, very young age. I'm a benevolent butcher, the way I say. But I'm not a weapon, but an untraceable, anonymous financial architecture. I spend my early years creating essentially what is a privatized Bitcoin, something that can never be traced. It's being done all over the world. Trillions, 242 trillion was traded last year on private networks that can never be traced, right? And so this is a network that exists. I create a ghost economy, essentially.
Yeah.
And with this ghost economy, I set up billionaires. So I have like my own million billionaires that don't know where their funding came from. Their funding comes from NGOs. Their funding comes from anonymous sources, which I'll get into. But I create this ghost economy, and from this ghost economy, my works happen. So this is sort of an 80-20 thing. 80% setup, 20% action. Because if you don't set this up properly, one smart reporter, one digging AI bot, it can turn it over. So you have to spend decades setting this up. And so that is my... Go ahead.
I like this. Okay, so my initial thoughts before you move on to the next steps.
Please.
My initial thoughts are, whenever I think about analog being used to kill, my first thought goes to Y2K and everybody's terrified fear of the existence of Y2K shutting down all of the computer systems. So that's kind of like where I'm starting to come in here. I could be totally off base with where you're going, but I get excited about the idea of things like that because we all were truly, truly terrified during Y2K. My second thought is I love the idea of anything crypto related. So that is very exciting to me, and I'm excited to see how you're going to make that work for you, especially because if you have a million billionaires, then those million billionaires might not feel as special. That money might not seem to be as worth as much money, even if it is through a crypto that is completely legitimate. So I'm curious. All right, walk me through more. Am I on the right track at all? Am I totally far off?
Yeah, no, I listen. So the way I would describe the first part is today there's about 60,000 deaths a year in driving.
Okay.
With driverless cars, that number is going to be in the single thousands. I'm going to spend all the money I can to make sure that delay happens as long as possible. So what you're talking about is like deaths that aren't real. I'm talking about deaths that are real and delaying things. So because all it takes is me manufacturing 10 accidents where the autonomous driver car thing is set back decades. Every time, because one death in a car where there is no driver is going to be worth $1 million where there is. And so I'm going to keep playing on that and pushing that technology back for decades. But let me tell you how we get there. So my infiltration, it starts young. I start young and I earn degrees under false names because I can. No one knows who I am. Kaiser Soze won't know who I am. But I earned degrees in economics, cryptography, health policy, behavior manipulation, reputation engineering, and then I disappear. And I spend the next decades, the first 5 years, I sort of buy my people. I use all that I can, NGOs, I use charity, I use every sort of way to set up billionaires. I use corporations, I use LLCs, I create Dominican corporations that then donate to political parties that then give money to the people that I want. I want my people soaked, but they don't know where it's coming from. I'm not even my name's not even on the check. I am the check. And so the infiltration is the first 5 years. And this is the part where I just sort of also join all the secret societies, Skull and Bones, Ivy Club, all of them, because I can afford to. Because I'm also going to watch these dudes do terrible thing to women or children and have that blackmail on them. And so we're going to build this business out of that as well. And so that is the dark half of this. That is why no one will turn on me, because their families are in the crosshairs. Their DNA, their whole last name and existence of that bloodline is in the crosshairs. And so, go ahead and mess with me. We're giving you billions of dollars. Just shut up. But it's not even me that's doing it. It's the other billionaires that my billionaires and billionaires before that layers of billionaires. Do you see where unlimited resources starts to be coming in here?
I love that you're using the unlimited resources not only for the money. So many people focus on the money when it comes to unlimited resources. You're exactly right. Unlimited resources means you get all the education that you want. It means that you get all the time that you want.
Right.
Using those resources is exactly how you win the murder game. So, all right,
Now-
give me more. Give me more.
Now, here's the turn. Here's the other sort of market manipulation I saw in this game, where it's like, hey, how many people can you kill? That's the game. At the same time, if I save a life, it doesn't take away one that I murdered.
Correct.
That's not in the rules. So, phase we begin with the new phase, the chaos charity phase, because at some point someone's gonna dig around for something. And so what I'm going to do there is I'm going to create a K Street lobbying firm. I'm going to create all the sort of gross things in the modern politics, but I'm going to put trillions for good. I'm going to save so many lives that the amount I take is a drop in the bucket. Billions of lives. I have free malaria shots around the world. Free, I'm so basically, and I'm going to target all this medication and all this future and amazing things to young people. I'm going to make Gen Y and the young people love and adore what I'm doing for them. I am giving them... Now, secretly, I'm going to be killing all their grandparents. But don't tell them that yet. Don't tell them that.
Wait. So I have a question. So you previously said nobody's going to know your identity. At what point do you start releasing your identity so that people understand the charity phase? Is that within stage 2 that you're like, yes, look at me, I'm amazing?
No. So we create the ghost economy, and then I infiltrate. And then
Okay,
once I own everything and everyone, I don't want it to seem like, ooh, there's this dark guy in the shadows. I just want it to seem like, hey, I'm a normal... I own businesses. They're great businesses. They're like TGI Fridays. I'll do something really funny. So it'll be like Hooters. I own Hooters or something random, but I also want to help everyone. And so I start donating insane amounts of money. And so building wings of colleges, building hospitals, and do-goodedness where ain't no one in power going to say a word, because I've also buttered them up publicly from front and then from the behind like a greased whore. And so they can't turn around without my money. But again, it's other billionaires who are then controlled by other billionaires who then have their own Epsteins that they can dump everything on if things go wrong, where I can just switch to another billionaire and hatch a new plan. So this thing, no small person can end this. And so what we then do, we're doing that for, I'm in the way here, for like 5 or 15 years, right? Because this thing is a long journey.
Yeah,
we
you're
want
in the
everyone-
long game. You're in the long
Yes.
game. I always tell
Yes.
people, whenever they are thinking about the murder game solution, you have to decide, are you going to play the short game or are you going to play the long game? You can't play both. You got to play one or the other. You're either going out in a blaze of glory immediately or you're doing it for 30 years.
There's children who are now saying, you saved my mom.
Yeah.
Like generational life-saving, to the point where, is the murder game even a function anymore? Because the amount of people that I'm saving just by 1,000 wouldn't have been saved without the murder game. The murder game saved these people, and a fraction of them are dying from my sort of ill-gotten deeds coming up here, and that's how I win the game. I win by being invisible.
This might be the most noble
That's how you
solution
win.
to the murder game.
That's
this
how you
is
win.
absolutely incredible. Ryan Rebalkin recently did a solution which had a moral compass to it, which was the first time that I had heard a moral compass. This is beyond moral compass. This is, I mean, you're wow, I don't even know what to say. It's beautiful. You're not even evil.
Well, here's
not yet.
here's where it turns a little, because all that good, remember, is mirrored. This is a mirror job here by bad things. So
Yes.
I really want to make life terrible on planet Earth. That's sort of my ultimate long-term goal. So what do? I use this money and this distribution network I have, and I fund both sides of every divide on the planet. Jewish, non-Jewish, Proud Boys, BLM, oil lobbies, environmentalists. I would destabilize the world in such a way where I would find niche, tiny groups that only function because they're so crazy and they find each other but have no money. Oh my God, if they had money, they have $1 billion now. I would find every single one like that and then go find one on the opposite side and do the same thing. I would be the arms dealer of arms dealer when it came to stress and panic-induced society. Because I want our society, our older people, running for drugs, running for the doctor. I want them to head to medicine. Because when they get there, they will realize, hold on, here we go here. Stage 3, total erasure of the healthcare system. Huh?
Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh boy.
Huh? Where am I going?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no. All right, you're afraid to be seen now, it appears.
I don't know where I'm going, honestly. Get back over here.
You literally had to step
I ran away from
aside
myself there.
from being from having to admit to your stage 3 after all the wonderful things that you did in your life. Now we're erasing the healthcare system.
So I'm doing wonderful things for young people. I am making houses affordable, college affordable, prolonging their lives. I'm just going to kill their parents and their grandparents
All
because
right.
I'm going to slowly take away with all my Congress, with all of my money. I'm going to slowly take away all the ACA protections. I'm going to pre-existing coverage. I'm going to make insulin $1 billion a month for anyone over 4 seconds old. I'm going to make all access digital only, so every old person has to know how to work Windows 11 or die. I'm going to remove appeals. I'm going to introduce Kafka loops. I'm going to have, guess what? Let's do it. We can finally do it. Death panels. Huh? I'm going to have death panels. And it's all going to be run by AI. So people are then more afraid of AI and want to slow down AI. So analog kills them longer. I'm going to run deep fake support agents. Policy is going to be crafted by think tanks that are fake. So everywhere you look, everyone's going to be like, this is a great idea. This is a great idea. It's not a great idea, and everyone's dying.
It's a horrible idea.
But the young are getting everything they want, and they're like, we don't understand, Grandpa. We're getting everything. All right? And so we're now to a phase. So that's the 30-year-long phase.
In addition to that, I just want to say, in addition to that, one thing that you can do with that also is if you get the vote of the youth, you can really sway politics as well.
That's where this game starts, yes.
Yeah. People will continue, the elder generations, especially if you make voting more complicated, won't be able to vote anymore. And then you can really get them on your side because you've helped them so much.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm a hero of the people.
Yeah,
but the young
clearly.
people, I'm a Trojan horse for the elderly. And the sick and the infirmed and those who can't take care of themselves and streamers, mostly. But also, I build colleges. I'm a champion of the young. Beloved by Hollywood and tech elites. But my deaths are focused on the elderly, disabled, working poor. Every life saved in youth is 3 lives denied in silence. That's sort of my motto. So, if I could make it 1-on-1, that'd be great. But I am trying to kill people. I am trying to kill people. But these people's health, the young people, I don't care about. Because by the time they get to elderly age, where they're like doing great, I'm out of the game. I've already won. I've already killed hundreds of billions of people. Here's the thing. Some of these policies are going to follow us into space. They're going to follow us to Mars. Some of these policies will be with us at the end of human time. So you can't really even calculate, but let's try. And so I have this dual narrative going. Also, I want, at this time, to start working on a pro-choice movement that will blow your quadrillion-dollar pro-choice worldwide movement focused on the poorest countries and the most impoverished people on the planet. Your choice, ladies, because if you kill 10 a year, daddy's doing good in the murder game.
Oh, my God.
We're going to Africa, and we are aborting babies. Yeah.
I don't know that you can count those. I don't know that you can count those. That's still somebody else's choice.
We're not counting black aborted babies now. Okay, we did the white. Just take the white sheet off. God damn it. Jesus Christ, I didn't know this was kind of... Is that Quad? Hi, Quad.
Yeah, it truly is. It truly is. I think that you're really doing the Lord's work here, quite literally, because I say that right after all the horrible, wonderful things you just said. No, you're doing the Lord's work. You're giving hope to the youth, and you're killing off the elderly. This is a very interesting solution. I have never heard anything like this ever. You truly have a really weird brain. Really weird brain. More. All right, give me more.
All right, well, this is actually probably the biggest killer of them all, and that is That's not the one. It is. We're going to put so much money into the economy that we're going to have hyperinflation. Right. So over the year, so hyperinflation is essentially too much money in the economy, where your dollar goes in your savings account from $1 to 60 cents. That's why savings accounts are bullshit. And even places where you get 10% a year, you're breaking even. You're treading water. You need to make over 10% a year to keep up with inflation. But I'm going to make sure hyperinflation and AI despair come in. So I've already injected trillions of dollars, but I'm going to make sure there's at least 492 trillion of shadow liquidity over the 40 years, basically quadrupling the amount of money on the planet, basically making your dollar worth a quarter.
I was worried about the hyperinflation early on in your stages. Back in stage one, I was even starting to worry about that when you were talking about you having your
Gotta get the kids on your
millions of
side
billionaires.
first. No.
This is hyperinflation to that level is probably going to make a dollar worth less than a quarter, I would think.
Yes, but the rich are good. They have so many quarters. And
There's so many quarters.
And I have made so many of them billionaires. The wall of protection to protect wealth is unbreakable. It is an unbreakable human wall, and it is how you that is how you can win the murder game, because you use things that are unbreakable human things. You can't, there is no what about this? No, we're human. We're greed. We are the universe's embodiment of the notion of greed. And so when you dangle,
is the incentive. That is always the incentive.
And all you got to do is just, a little thing for me here or there, and you're a billionaire. And you don't even know it's me. It's another billionaire asking you, and another billionaire asked him. Where does that chain stop? Who knows? They're billionaires. They're going to lawyer up, and none are going to answer your questions, because I got pictures of them doing crazy things to donkeys and children. So with that liquidity, markets are collapsing. Just the stress on the planet through starvation, black market medications, black market surgeries, going to meet your ancestors, wink, wink, you know what I'm saying? Riots, just an algorithmic despair is what I'm hoping to create and that is sort of my final step, because everything else I've done, I don't need to sit there and now I'm going to get on a roof with a sniper rifle and take it. I have set the trap that every human being has to now walk through. And to get through that, you have to be fully stressed out by the time you're 40 or 50, because the world sucks. No health care for you at old age. So you're going to die early, and it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Yes. And meanwhile, I have saved so many lives that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter the amount I've taken. So let me go over real quickly my numbers, and you can totally change these.
I don't even know how to estimate these numbers.
You can't, but let's try.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you, because I have literally no idea what this is. This is a bonkers solution. I think that many of your pillars are exactly what makes the murder game fun and exciting. I want to hear the numbers. Break the numbers down for me, because I can't even estimate. I can't even do it.
Yeah. Like I said, this is probably in the billions, but just for this game, so we can give it a number that's maybe beatable, right?
Okay.
I want someone to come out and beat.
All right.
Come and get me. Healthcare collapse, about 9 million over the 50 years. Civil chaos, about 2 to 3. Mental health neglect, 10 million. That's a lot of ancestors.
Wait. Okay, go back. Civil chaos. What constitutes a death under civil chaos?
I would say any death that wouldn't have happened without the collective stress of a society. Bar fights, road rage, things that are percolating through a society that I built through the stress and the amount of money that they don't have. I know everyone's like a water brain, and I've taken their money away, and I've made them more alcoholic, and I've made them more into things to dull their pain. So when they run into each other in those states, over the course of 40 to 50 years, you're gonna get a lot of dead dum-dums. That's what I say there, and I say good riddance to them all.
You just made me realize, which is something that I've never thought about ever. Were there more murders during Prohibition because people were all stressed out?
More wives died, I know that. Hey-o.
Yeah, for sure, obviously.
Yeah. But then I would say mental health, obviously, that number's low. but that's a lot of, cleaning guns, if you know what I'm saying. Reproductive control. And that stat is, I did a calculation of that stat over 50 years worldwide, because we hit Africa and Indonesia and Asia hard, baby. We send 50 to 70 million of those little babies to heaven, to little sky daddy. And so hyperinflation, 30 to 50 million. It's hard because starvation is a hard thing to track. And the algorithmic despair is another hard thing to track, although I think that number is real low because, again, we are, with just a year, we're making sure another 40,000 deaths happen with the cars, because we're going to make sure that those AI cars aren't coming and anytime soon. And so that we are, like I say in my quote there, I didn't kill them. I built the machines that didn't save them, which is also murder.
The way that algorithmic despair works is you create distrust in the automatically driving cars, and because of that, we no longer have those, and therefore there are more natural car crashes. Am I correct about that?
We are relying on a less, as we go, a less capable public to do these things.
Yes. Okay.
We are leaving the analog world. These people don't understand. These young ones don't understand the analog world. They're not going to understand driving soon. They won't be able to get in a car and drive. And so, yes, that's going to be the despair of those people living and dying in a world where they wouldn't have to normally die. That's my game, baby. Just keep them dying. Keep them. Say, no, it doesn't. You have to live in this world. Your parents lived in this world. Their parents lived in this world. You have to. That's what we're doing. I have these cars called Waymos by my house. I live by Google, and they're driverless cars. They take you anywhere you want. They don't go on freeways yet because the federal is like, no freeways yet. But it's coming because they're half the price of Uber. Buy Uber driver when it comes. I'm going to make sure that Waymo kills like 10 people.
Yes.
And so we got to put that, because I'm worried about the CEOs of the company and the press releases of the company. That's my game. I'm playing a 50-year PR game. And since I spent years infiltrating and years owning everyone, there is no counter argument. I own matter of fact, guess who makes the counter arguments? I do. Because I want to own all the sides of the argument. So I own the counter mainstream press. I own them. And they talk about things that circle around the head of the cock, but never touches the tail. Never touches the tail. Anyway, that is my murder game, people.
Casey
200 million.
I think that you're insane. I think you're absolutely insane. I love it. I love it very much. But I will say, okay, so I would question some of those statistics. I would question.
Please.
There is an autonomy. The number one that I would kind of question, I guess, is relating to the reproductive control. And the reason that I would question that one is because that there is an autonomy in that decision. And there's a challenge with that. You know, there's autonomy in many of these decisions, in many of these things. And what you're saying...
where is there autonomy in any murder? No one wants to be murdered, right?
No, nobody wants to be murdered. But what I mean is that you are saying you are making the world such a horrible place that some people want to not exist in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still autonomy in the decision of not wanting to exist, isn't there?
Well, I mean, when you box someone in
Arguably.
so completely, there's going to be strong people. There's always a strong one in the group, but the rest of them are weak, sad, pathetic people that will, the first time one breaks and their weakness shows and their spine cracks, others see what it looks like and it's like, oh, that doesn't look so bad. I'll do that. And then it's a cascade of failure and weakness into the next generation. Yeah, there'll always be one. But again, I'm not worried about that one. I'm trying to kill everyone else. This is a 50-year game.
I love this. I love how you are plotting to be a murderer, and I love what you just said.
Saving lives too.
You're killing this way. However, I do have a little bit of problem. Will you read that little quote that you have down there at the bottom for me?
Well, this was because I'm so confident in my thing. This is me shooting the ball and running down the court without looking if it goes in. I didn't kill them. I built the machine that didn't save them, which is also killing them.
Yes, that is the challenge of your solution. If you don't believe in the crux of that, if you don't believe, if you end that sentence at "I didn't kill them," then really you murdered nobody. Well,
what I mean is the trolley
understand.
situation. We're playing the trolley game, you know.
I get it. I get it. I love this solution. I think this is incredibly clever. I think that you are actually a crazy person, but I love it so very much. So very much.
I brought something from the future if you would like to see how it played out. I brought a special guest to the
I'm a little afraid. Let's give it a shot here.
Global Truth Network Special Report. Dateline. Geneva, January 17, 2051. The benevolent butcher unmasked. Did humanity's greatest philanthropist engineer the death of 200 million people? But new classified leaks, obtained from a former AI engineer turned whistleblower, suggest that Casey Day, the so-called savior of the 21st century, may have secretly engineered the largest slow-burn genocide in modern history. The allegation is chillingly elegant. Rather than waging war, Day allegedly built a system of bureaucratic murder, camouflaged in nonprofits, charities, and crypto-funded shell corporations. A 300-page document code named The Malevolent Butcher outlines a 50-year plan. Weaponize shadow banking to destabilize entire currencies. Fund both sides of ideological conflict to ensure permanent civil gridlock. Dismantle healthcare for the elderly. Establish reproductive control policies in conflict zones under the banner of choice. Despair is the most scalable WMD ever created. KC Day 2044. Investigators discovered an encrypted ledger detailing $492 trillion in shadow liquidity, distributed through an anonymous financial matrix. An independent audit by Interregnum Human Rights Initiative, IRI, estimates up to 200 million preventable deaths linked to indirect consequences of Day's
said it, it's
financial
true.
empire. Hero to the young, reaper to the rest. Day's image remains pristine in public memory. He funded schools, UBI trials, clean energy grids. The media worshipped him. He gave more to education than the last 10 presidents combined, said one former ally. What they didn't see. Elders priced out of care. Mentally ill denied treatment. The art of the mirror charity. For every death causing policy, there was a mirror organization doing visible good. History debates you when it can't prosecute you. KC Day, unpublished autobiography draft. The United Nations has ordered an independent tribunal to investigate the extent of Day's influence and whether crimes against humanity were committed. Though legal scholars are unsure how to prosecute someone whose fingerprints appeared nowhere. You could try to dismantle his empire, said Dr. Emil Washburn, historian at Oxford, but it was never his name on the checks. He was the check. I was the check. A memorial ceremony still occurred in Geneva this week, despite protests. The plaque beneath his marble statue reads, "He gave more than he took." Some wonder now if that, too, was part of the plan. Coming tomorrow, inside the Ledger of Death, how Casey Day's shell foundations routed trillions through fake malaria clinics.
People do not want to get near malaria clinics. It's a great hack.
If anybody other than Blind Mike reports on this, I will be so disappointed now. That's it. That was perfect. Absolutely amazing. That was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Beat that, Electra.
I gotta be honest with you. DJ Electra has been saying that there's a pretty good idea brewing. I don't know if DJ Electra, I don't know if she can touch her numbers, but I'm very excited to see what the solution is.
No, but that's it. That's why this is an interesting game, because it tells us who you are. So at my core, I am a boring engineer that just wants to murder everyone and sit in a chair after the day and drink my coffee and have them all think I'm a hero. Thanks for letting me know what I really am. I really needed that.
It's really all about self-reflection. Self-reflection is the name of the game, right? This is absolutely incredible. Amazing presentation. Absolutely amazing breaking news article with Blind Mike. Oh, God damn it. I love Blind Mike so much. He made you win the game. Let's be honest. He's freaking amazing. It's amazing. Well, I would love it. I appreciate so much you coming and sharing your solution to the murder game with me. I would love it so much if you would tell everybody a little bit about where they can find you. Of course, everything will also be linked down below, but tell everybody what's new, exciting, happening, coming up, all the good stuff.
Well, I'm usually at the booths putting my penis through a hole.
Oh, that makes sense. Don't get it slapped on the other side. I
No, I'm
just
not-
watched. I just wanted. I have to non sequitur this for like a second here. I just watched Porky's 4 for the first time. Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee. That is the dumbest movie of all time. But there is this glory hole scene in there where there's just a guy on the other side of the glory hole, like to the penises, and
That's hard. Yeah.
It was a choice. It was a choice that they made. I'm sorry. Go
Life
on.
hack. You bring a feather duster. We like the feather dusters at the house.
Good to know.
Does some cleaning too. You can find me at hackridestudios.com. That's it. Make it nice and easy for you.
That's too easy. That's too easy. Do you have any exciting things that are coming up anytime soon?
No, people call this boring, so I'm gonna stick with that.
on.
We have a lot of boring
So
shows,
boring.
but if you like Howard Stern, come watch some of our boring shows.
That's not accurate at all. Everything that you do is incredibly interesting. I love your coverage. I think that this was an incredibly exciting solution to the murder game. So thank you so much for coming and celebrating fake crime with me. This was wonderful. Thank you again very much. And thank you guys all for listening. The Murder Game.